Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for your final match of the group stages for the International 3 Eastern Qualifiers. We've already sent 3 Chinese teams into the next round, and now, Kevin, we might be sending a 4th. It's going to be Rising Stars versus mith.trust, who just got done taking down Mineski. They will now have to face the Chinese winner bracket finalist who couldn't finish the deal. They dropped down to Vici Gaming. I got to say, I felt they looked beatable. Not invincible by any means. mith.trust looked a little bit stronger today than they did yesterday, but it's going to be a tough battle for them.
Yeah, I was really impressed with mith.trust in their last 2 games against Mineski. They really played well. All of their lanes went super fantastic as well. What were the results of them of Rattlesnake versus, or I'm sorry, Rising? I'm sorry, I'm super confused now. Who did Rising Stars play against last?
As soon as Lumi heard that Rising Stars was going to play today, he said, "Oh." Fuck.
Yeah,
he just knew he was going to screw it up. He's infected all of us. It is, in fact, Rising Stars. Rattlesnake, they've already advanced.
Okay, so it's all the RS thing. It's all confusing. It's like all the acronyms are the same. It just
whatever makes us sleep well at night. But
they're both really good. That's all that's important. Like
there's an R, there's an S. They're Chinese, but in all seriousness, they are somewhat similar in terms of play style. I think Rattlesnake a little bit more sort of experienced and polished, but. With that being said, Rising Stars, they beat mith.trust 2-1 yesterday, so it's going to be a rematch of their first game. mith.trust showed the potential to beat them, and we're actually going to take a quick look at the teams here. You can see, I mean, who do you think is the better team photo? That's always the first thing we want to start with when we're introducing a match.
I see a guy giving the thumbs up, so he's confident.
Yeah. There's 2 thumbs
wait,
up,
there's
though.
2. You're right. That's equal. It could go both ways.
mith.trust is like more level to the ground, though. Rising Stars, they've got like random heads poking out at different heights. Does that count for anything?
Their shirt's completely matched, though. So I mean, they've got some coordination. Obviously, their teamwork should be a little bit higher in their hexagon.
We're
so
pretty coordinated ourselves. I
think I'm as popped as I can get. Do you want me to? Do you guys need more tests?
I can help you with that after the show. We'll go into that. But guys, the game is actually apparently already underway. So, well, we're gonna skip with the pregame introductions. Our admin Atri not waiting for us. We'll try to introduce the players a bit more if we have some time after Game 1. But Game 1 is already underway, so we'll hand it off to the casters. Merlini, Lumi, take it away.
Actually, Atri asked whether we're good to go. I just said, just go, guys. Let's get this shit.
You done messed up. That's
Yo,
okay.
man, I we just have to have some Dota going on.
There's no Pinoy team now. What are you gonna do? I know.
Representing.
Oh, this is a good shirt.
Yeah, no, thank you. There you go.
3
So
hours late.
generally, I was waiting for the question to ask. So David or so Lumi, who do you think who's gonna win the series? And I'll be like, oh wait. Oh, wait. Let's jump in the game, guys. It's mith.trust versus Rising Stars. This is going to be the last game of Group B. Winner moves on. Loser go home. High-stake matchup. Best of 3 series. Rising Star on the Radiant side with the first pick and first ban. Or actually, they're going to have, the first pick and first ban. mith.trust is going to be on the Dire. So far, we see Lone Druid and Shadow Demon being banned out. Meanwhile, mith.trust is going to be banning out the Bat Rider and Lifestealer. So nothing too out of ordinary just yet. Are we going to see something like a Magnus? That's kind of the common pickup here, or are we going to see something else?
I don't know. Magnus, Darkseer. It could be our favorite Wisp. Beep, boop, beep.
Okay.
We'll see.
The harmonics was
I know.
was
We
not
got to
there.
work on our beep, beep, booping.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. Well, there's the Magnus. No big surprise there. Apparently, Lumi has all these drafts predicted. And then, let's see, Darkseer Clock, we have seen very popular picks from mith.trust. That is Mutton, Indigo, Tango, Hotel, Trust.
What the hell did you just say?
It's the NATO alphabet.
Okay, all right.
And I don't know. I think it fits well into most people's lineup. I didn't expect Clockwork to be so popular. I know he's a top-tier pick, but first 2 every time, we will see. But it looks like it will be Rubik. Rubik Visage. Ooh, Visage is a hero that's been seeing a lot of love lately, and most of the time he just like dominates his triple lane.
I believe the correct pronunciation is Visage,
Yep.
depending who you ask.
Well, LT said it was Visage. I know the actual English word is Visage.
I actually
we call him Necrolic.
I actually
Necrolic.
should not be correcting anybody's pronunciation. Or, yeah, Necrolic. That's old school. Yeah, I like
We
that.
can go Dota one day.
Yeah, we could bring
We
it
call him
back.
Flying Bat.
Flying Bat. Or V-Bird, as I'm...
Bieber?
yeah, because I keep saying Visage the other day. At least, like, just call him V-Bird, because you can't go wrong with that one. But what V-Bird is going to allow the Dire team to do is actually run some sort of offensive tri-lane. Besides, actually one of the most insane hero in terms of beating any type of offensive tri-lane because the burst damage is so high. He's not exactly particularly too good in terms of challenging a pull and whatnot. And And here comes the Nyx Assassin. I feel like this is a very, very smart pickup. Not only Darkseer still left in the pool, and the Nyx Assassin kind of deter against the Nyx pick or deter again a Darkseer pick, simply because Mana Burn is so effective as a way to deal with it. And there's a nice, if you want to call it synergy, between Nyx Assassin Mana Burn and Anti-Mage Mana Void, but the most important thing I find is that he's so good against the V-Bird. Simply a 1 Mana Burn or 2, Soul Assumption is going to be offline. It's not going to be as threatening as a hero in the middle of team fight, or more importantly, in the early game.
Yeah, to be honest, Nyx Assassin deters a lot of hero picks. Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain even, Skywrath Mage, all the heroes kind of get destroyed by Nyx Assassin. Looks like Rising Stars will turn into Rising Stars today with Anti-Mage number 3. Empower, Battle Fury, farm like a champion.
Yeah, actually, this is a very important pickup, not only for the Rising capability, but also it's one of the more Lakel's known heroes. He has his Anti-Mage, he has his Morphling, and certain selected carry heroes, and this is one of his more preferred ones. So it's a pickup and a ban at the same time, and in the second phase, they could just mostly focus here on the kind of main carries, as they expect Dragon Knight could be going solo mid. I mean, Dragon Knight most likely could go in the safe lane as a 1-row carry as well, but that's not really a role that you see too often.
So we see Alchemist actually banned out, and Dragon Knight was actually taken up over Alchemist, which means I think they probably want to do like less of a farm war, and oftentimes we'll see that, okay, if you want to do safe lane Anti-Mage with a couple of babysitters, we'll just do safe lane Alchemist and out-farm you with Grievel's Greed, and we'll just crush you. But looks like they are going a different route, which I like, because that's a less passive route, more aggressive route. Keep it light, and Clockwork banned out by mith.trust, and Gyrocopter, Juggernaut, Alchemist banned out by Rising Stars Gaming.
Yeah, you make a good point. Generally, Dragon Knight is not as popular as Alchemist as in terms of pick and ban. So I wonder what the mindset behind picking up Dragon Knight early. You do have a very potent stun early on without any kind of charging up shenanigan, especially with the help of Visage, Grave Chills to set you up. So I wonder if these 3 heroes that we see in mith.trust is going to be going offensive tri-lane, or they're going to be playing defensive tri-lane and look to knock down a couple early tower with that level 1 dragon form. I feel like mith.trust does have a lot of options in terms of laning, because you know that DK could go mid, DK could be part of the offensive tri-lane. But for now, we're going to see a Silencer being picked up. I'm not sure exactly what's about. I feel like this is something that they picked up themselves, so mith.trust don't get their hands on. Because Silencer, we've seen multiple times used by IG to counterpick against Anti-Mage, using Global and Last Word to prevent Anti-Mage from escaping in the early game, using Global Silencer to shut down Manus in the mid-game teamfights. Silencer's not exactly too good against what mith.trust got so far.
Silencer owns. I love that hero. I'm going to disagree with you, because Silencer is good versus everything.
Fair.
I mean, that global silence is just ridiculous. I mean, if you get a couple man RP, you can't save them at all. You just have a couple heroes just immediately lost. If you get like 2 heroes with RP, it doesn't matter. Team fight will be immediately like 3v5. And even if you BKB, I mean, it's still usually too late. And you can global silence through BKB. That hero is ownage.
That hero also doesn't have a stun.
Sun's overrated.
Okay.
And mith.trust apparently does not think so. Sven being their next pickup, and boy do they have a lot of cleave. Sven is actually picked quite often versus Chaos Knight, just because his God Strength and great cleave destroys images, and it'll work pretty well versus 3 AM too.
Yeah, this is going to force AM to maybe not go for the standard Battle Fury build. If he does, he's going to be basically avoiding fight. And with a hero that doesn't have a stun, I know you just say stun is overrated, but how are you actually going to stop this kind of face rush kind of force that mith.trust is building towards to? It's Stormhammer, it's Dragon Tail, and these stuns are, once level 6 Dragon Knight is up, there's a lot of cast range. So when you're getting gone upon, Silencer doesn't help you that much. And Global Silence, sure, it's a good way to kind of combo well with Magnus RP, and that's all nice and all, but right now they have Brute Force, and I feel like Silencer may be the lamb that might be slayed like a pack of muttons.
Mass 4-staff, dude. They get stunned, just 4-staff them away.
Well,
we saw some Pinoy teams do that.
I know, but
one of your favorites use that to great effect. I have no reason to believe that they can't do that this game too.
Hey, there's a good one. It's going to be a Templar Assassin. I feel like this is a very beautiful pickup, considering the fact that the big hits are going to be coming out fast and hard with things like Soul Assumption, with big Sven Cleaves hits. Refraction will be blocking them just as well. Let's not forget that Traps is so good against these type of kind of right-click lineup without any innate built-in mobility. So I think Templar Assassin is a really good pickup.
She's going to be really hard to burst down these heroes with. I mean, Visage has innate passive armor with Gravekeeper's Cloak. Dragon Knight has armor with Dragon's Blood. Sven has armor with his Warcry. I just think that they don't really have that much burst. Sure, they have, I mean, refraction plus meld, but really against these really high armor heroes, maybe an intelligence hero would have been suited better. But regardless, Templar Assassin, I think exactly what they need. A little bit more and a little bit more early mid game, just because they do have the anti-mage, so most likely be a 4 protect 1 strategy.
I thought for sure that Rising Star was going to pick into OD, simply for the fact that pure damage ignores all the armor that you're just mentioning. The intelligence kind of favored them and basically owns any kind of 1v1 mid matchup. I thought for sure they were setting up into that one, but Templar Assassin just as good. And it's going to be a Kling's pickup here, so that's going to give him the silence necessary to pick off Xiao Tuji's anti-mage. Well, what do you think about this one? Doesn't that add necessary any stun in terms of offensive power, but it doesn't feel like they need
He's going to win his lane, though. If he's versus a solo offlane Magnus, Magnus is just going to get destroyed by Klings.
Yeah, it is going to be, it's going to be an offlane Magnus. Air is going to be selecting Templar Assassin, and Air is generally the solo mid player.
What?
Seems like mith.trust is doing a very good job in terms of reading the lanes and trying their best to capitalize it.
How to counter anti-mage pick? Pick 3 late gamers.
Or mid-games Timber carries, as they could kind of go right from the get-go out of the gates and start picking out people as well. Let's quickly introduce the players from both sides. mith.trust, R5 will be playing Rubik. We have SD playing Visage, TNK handling the Visage, or Visage.
Necrolique.
Why'd you add a French twist to it?
It's like Paul song.
Oh, Lakel is going to be playing Bone Klings. And last but not least, we have Dragonite being handled by ABBA.
And then on the side of Rising Stars, we have Mofi on the solo offlane Magnus, already with a stout shield. I think that's a very good pickup because I think he might get owned up there. We have Air on the TA and middle, already skilling refraction and having her bottle rush build. Xiao Tuji on the farming anti-mage as part of the triple lane, babysat by XDD on the Nyx Assassin and Super on Silencer.
Yeah, this lane is going to be mostly playing as very, very defensive. There's a ton of mana burn in this lane if they really want to go for that route. And what do you think the correct skill build is coming out from these two supports on the Radiant side? Is it going to just standard Impel?
Dude, Curse would own.
Yeah, Curse would own. Unfortunately...
Did he already skill last word?
He
didn't. Okay.
He didn't. So, I just think that Curse is going to be nice, but if you actually look down to what Curse do, it burns, what, 40 mana at level 1? Like
more than that, dog. Do your math. You're Asian.
I just woke up.
32 mana loss, duration 6 seconds. Actually, 8 times 6. 48, okay, not 40.
Damn.
48 mana. But, I mean, if you use Soul Assumption to try and take it off, 170 mana, that's just way too much.
Hey, it is going to be the Curse and Mana Burn build, so
yeah.
It's a 1-2 punch in terms of mana drain. Xiao Tuji.
Oh, this looks bad for Rising Stars.
Xiao Tuji not manny enough to go a mana breakpoint, but TNK is coming right in. If they get a Storm Hammer hit on Xiao Tuji before Blink, he is dead. But he's actually looking to bait it out, for example.
He has that Pro Man shield.
A Pro Man shield, did you just say?
Yeah. He's ready for it. He got pulled a couple of regen. Looks like he won't. I mean, he has a lot of survivability. He has Pro Man shield. He has a decent amount of armor, and he'll have spell shield relatively early, I assume. Again, being a passive lane already from Rising Stars, that's usually what you have when you have an anti-mage. But in terms of how lanes are going, I think Lakel's is going to have like just an easy time versus Magnus. Already, we see some harass out from him. No rune spawning for Mofi, unfortunately, and yeah, I'm a little bit worried for him. In terms of the other lanes, mid lane should be relatively, I mean, Tia will have a slight upper edge because of CS for refraction, but I don't think either hero should die. And bottom, I think edge probably goes to Rising Star just because Silencer is imbalanced.
Well, also the fact that Mana Burn is pretty good against this particular tri-lane with no one really have basically a free spell. So I want to say that the mith.trust lineup has basically a small window opportunity to use all of the mana and go for a first blood. 3-man curse.
48 mana, down the drain, times 3. What a hero.
What a hero indeed. And yeah, Xiao Tuji is going to basically sit pretty, rely on his 3 tango itself as well as that poor man shield. And basically, if you don't make that goal soon, you're going to be out of mana. And you see that right now, XD looking for a good mana burn target.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is they need Magic Sticks, but you can't pick one up in the first couple of waves. And if you miss your window of opportunity, you don't have enough mana, and you're forced to either leave the lane and go heal or ferry over some clarities. I mean, Silencer's already done his job. Yeah,
he really has. He's just looking for another opportunity to drop a 3-man curse. These passive mana regen is coming through. There's a mana burn TNK. Alright guys, lane is done. Sven has to go back and pop his mana. And there's a mana burn.
3-man curse again. I think mith.trust really needs to do a better job of splitting up. Just because the curse range is not actually that big, and they just stand one here on the left side, one here on the right side, and Sven up there farming creeps. But getting hit by 2 3-man curses like 1 minute in, that is not a good start for mith.trust.
So what do you actually do here if you're on this offensive trial lane? Your Sven is out of mana, now your SD or Visage is getting burned out as well. So your offensive capabilities basically shut down. If you're going to be harassing anti-mage, he doesn't care. He's got poor mouth here. Another, looks like they have avoided this one. Excuse me. And yeah, what do you do in this trial lane? Do you just dodge and go to the other side of the map and start picking out that Magnus? I don't think they're going to be as effective. They do turn level 2, so getting the second access of Fable and as well as a Grave Shield will be helpful, but it's not going to be useful against an anti-mage.
Well, firstly, they need Sven to have Stormbolt. They can't, again, they need to split up. Look at them just clump up all the time. They can get Magic 6, they can also get a Bottle Crow to try and deal with this mana burn spam, but really, you need mana if you want to win this lane. Going aggressive triple, you don't have the benefit of being able to pull, especially if you are on the dire side, and I mean, if Rising Stars just gets leveled under supporters like they're doing now, they've already dewarded and already pulled and killing some mud golems. I mean, things are just looking bad for mith.trust.
Yeah, Xiaotuji's not really getting out harassed in lane. You see that Sven walk into the shop and picked up a magic stick immediately, blowing through that clarity. It doesn't feel like a winning kind of strategy, if you will. He's basically going to store magic stick charges and have the best opportunity to make a go. So once Rising Stars survive that inevitable goal, they should be absolutely fine. TNK comes in, gonna get mana burn. Dunzo!
Yeah, that looks fun.
Yep.
So in terms of CS for the other lanes, top lane, Lakel's looks to be doing pretty decently, 14-3 versus Mags 9-1, but nothing special there. Only problem is Magnus is almost out of region. However, he will be bottle crowing with that bottle already up in his stash. Looks like Abba has picked up a haste rune in mid, but only to Breath of Fire. Actually, it's called Breathe Fire. More crease. My friend was making fun of that. I was talking to Frutch. He's like, Breathe Fire, what kind of name is that? And then he was talking about Clink Searing Arrow. He's like, it should be called Shoot Arrow. It's like, that's some good naming there.
Thank you for that 10-second of aside. I do not know how to reply there. As 2 supports now going to be roaming off. It's going to be checking the rune as well here as there were 4 minutes. And anytime that we're not seeing a kill on this offensive trial lane, and it looks like, oh, nice body blocking coming out from against TNK. And if the hell's going to hit, they might actually get a kill here. Tango through. There's a magic stick through as well. Looks like an armor buff is going to be used as well. Ooh, they almost got him to the
Super's in trouble.
Yeah, do they have enough mana for a soul assumption? It does, and Super's gonna give up first blood.
Man, Silencer. I
No
thought
stuns,
I was
man.
gonna say what a hero, but
No stuns.
a little bit too aggressive there. Again, they have a passive lane. All they need to do is get anti-mage some farm and not die. And going a little bit aggressive, maybe not the best decision there, but anti-mage still having a decent time, 11-3, and Sven is 16-7. I think their support should be a little bit higher level, but regardless, that first blood kind of sets Rising Stars back.
Yeah, it's actually pretty big first blood because Sven was going back. He was low HP, low mana. He was out of magic stick charges. And to give away a kill during then, where the 2 support benefited, and now Sven's going to come back at full mana, that's a pretty big deal. And if the supports don't pick it up here on Rising Star, this tri lane, which in my opinion they already won, could kind of go the other way and go it very, very quickly. Back in the mid lane is, again, kind of a wash in terms of CSing back and forth. I'm completely surprised that Abba is able to keep up. Oh, looks like we have a little bit of initiation power here. It's a Stormhammer, it's a lift, it's a toss. Xiaotuji will blink up, south back up, and that's fine. But here's the thing. You can make a second go here if you're Sven. You pops the clarity, go back a little bit. You have 2 charges on the magic wand. You just got to be careful that you don't get mana burn.
Yeah, and I really just going back to that first blood, they knew that Sven had a magic stick, and they used the curse before it, and he just paused the magic stick and just war cried away. I think that, again, they just need to play a little bit more passively, maybe get at least 1-1-1 up on all their heroes.
And here we go, Stormhammer going to force out 2G to blink again. That's fine, because they know the mana's going to be gone anyways.
He's stuck in the trees.
Well, somebody got to tango him out. These 2 supports like, no, guys, free farm time. Anti-mage ain't here, guys. Not my fault he blinked in. Anti-mage blinks back out, and we'll be last sitting away. But yeah, credit to Abba back in the mid lane, because I don't think a DK normally should be able to keep up with the insane magic damage output that a Templar assassin could dish out in this stage of lane. And it looks like he's actually pushed out the lane.
He's getting lucky with the runes, though. He did get a haste rune. It looks like he will pick up the Invis rune, even though TA committed to top lane, so that does help him a lot. And in terms of the top lane, looks like Mofi is getting kind of demolished by Lakel's now. Lakel's did get up a soul ring, and with that death back, he is just shooting arrow for massive amounts of damage. 100 plus.
Now we do have Invis, the Dragon Knight coming in. That stun is a mini Beastmaster Roar. And I think with this, they can actually pick off Xiaotuji or whoever else they want to focus. Seems like Xiaotuji is going to be the target. A ton of nukes going to be dropped. Worse than Storm Hammer. It lacks the mana. I say a ton of nukes being dropped. There wasn't any. And, well, mith.trust going to miss the opportunity. Maybe Abba should have just waited for another support to pop up. But in any case,
that was super dangerous. I mean, I think that Rising Star should have had a TA trap down here. He has 3 on the map right now, and really there's no reason not to have it. And that gank going almost in the way of mith.trust. Again, they just need to do their best to protect Xiaotuji. It is called a 4 protect 1 strategy for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, this game, to have somewhat of a decent semi-carry, Templar Assassin could do a lot of heavy lifting. Magnus, if he gets enough items, like a BKB early, he could do some damage output as well. But yeah, it's a 4 protect 1. It's an anti-mage that's meant to carry hard. And look at the build he's forced to really go for. He's going to go for Ring of Regen, an early kind of, I guess, a start to that Triangle Boots. You don't want to go Triangle Boots if you're anti-mage. You want to get to that Ring of Health. You want to go Battle Fury Treads and farm away in the jungle. They have already done a decent job in terms of slowing down Xiaotuji. So I guess with that alone, I want to say trialing is somewhat won by mith.trust. Top lanes is kind of a heavy victory here for the Bone Klings. And mid lane, it's a wash here for Templar Assassin, which I want to call it a win here for mith.trust as well. They're kind of winning all 3 lanes. It's not a big win, but a win nonetheless.
Right, and all their heroes just went back to heal bottom there. Trying to set up some kill potential, but against Sven's pretty poor too. If you look at his items, all he has is boost and belt of strength. He's falling a little bit behind.
Looks like they'll make a go here on Xiaotuji, lifting up, tossing him back. He does have blink available. He will blink back to safety. Looks like SC just a little bit slow in terms of dropping his spells, and now no HP, lack of mana. It's a very annoying lane to deal with, but here's the thing, there's no offensive capability out of Rising Star. mith.trust could stay here all day and keep trying over and over again. Xiaotuji might survive this lane. He's not getting farm here, so mith.trust is, again,
he's equal on last of this fan. It's not too bad for them.
Yeah, you expect a defensive trialing with the anti-mage, you could get a ton more though, and he's not getting any of it. Also, the Rising Star support isn't getting any pull. They're not getting a mid gank, for example. They're just not doing anything, which is not exactly where you want to be when you have this defensive trialing. You generally want a lot more out of it. Looks like they're wrapping around for a kill. They do impale here on R-Fire. Sunset coming down. Xiaotuji is going to eat a soul assumption to the face, so his blink is on cooldown. 5 seconds. A nuke to the face. Xiaotuji need a tango through. He doesn't have tango. Now they're going to switch target here against SC. A trap flies through here from a Templar Assassin, and that should be it for the engagement. So, I guess they bought themselves a little bit of farming room for Xiaotuji, but again, lane is not going well for Rising Star.
Yeah, I'm curious about this Ring of Regen pickup, because he did pick up a Belta's Giant Strength, so it does look like a very early Trez rush instead of a Battle Fury rush, but, I mean, is he going to turn that into Vlad's? Is it just going to be a casual Ring of Regen for the next 25 minutes?
I mean, I don't dislike Vlad's here. You have a ton of damage, physical damage output coming in from mith.trust. It's the Monk Cleans, it's a Dragon Knight, it's a Sven. Maybe having a Vlad's is a really good early kind of item choice. Go Strength Treads, go Vlad's, up your armor, up your survivability, and then take it into a Battle Fury build. Delaying your Battle Fury, though, is really, really tough. I just want to think that maybe he's just going for a little bit of value, kind of
getting
regen
that
in lane.
value.
I mean, hey, you need some regen. They have a ton of harass. Might as well go for it. The big thing about that gank, that fight in the bot lane was that, mid lane here, skewer into RP, and they're going to try to burst him down. The armor is very, very helpful, but unfortunately, Mel Strike just takes care of that. Great mobility.
Oh, poor Silencer on bottom lane. He gets lifted into a combo from the rest of the triple lane, but Xiaotuji still lives.
Yeah, I think it was worth a trade here. Using an RP in the mid lane, dropping a Silencer as a result. They need to shut down this DK. It's a 3-core lineup here for mith.trust, and all of them could kind of go online very early on. Shutting down DK and making him more or less a Beastmaster in terms of a frontline tech, in terms of Initiator, is the best you could hope for. And also, it's allowing the Templar Assassin to try his best to snowball out of control. Already has space to finish, so if he finds himself a quick Blink Dagger, heroes like Visage as well as Rubik, these are pretty much free kills.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing pretty well mid. 1,500 gold after already having phase boots, so, I mean, he's looking pretty close to his Blink Dagger, although we have seen a couple of TAs go Drums Yasha recently.
What do you kind of prefer in most games, and particularly in this game? Do you feel like the phase...
I think he needs drums. I think he needs Tread Drums Manta style. I mean, if you blink, you're not gonna be. Who are you gonna burst down? I mean, Rubik will still be able to lift him up, and Sven and DK are already pretty tanky heroes. I feel like he needs to be able to man fight these couple of heroes, and if you don't have any armor, any HP, you're most likely just gonna die and be rendered ineffective in the mid to late game. But we will see how this plays out.
Yeah, she will have some backup in the form of an RP and a global silence, so if she wants to play ultra aggressive, maybe this is the game to play like that. But I'm inclined to agree with you in the fact that I like the stats build a little bit more.
It's safer.
Yeah, it's safer. You're up against a ton of physical damage output. Just having more HP and more mobility throughout the passive.
See, in Smoke TA with a DD on bottom. Air is looking for blood.
Yeah, well, can he find some blood? That's a big question. A Stormhammer is a big AoE 2-second stun, so if they want to go on TNK, it's probably a decent choice, or Mana burn him away. Here we go. The Face Boot's going to be doing a ton of work. The Trap's going to come here. They want to go on the V-Bird. And I think they might actually get it. No, it's too... Well, Stormhammer, as predicted, pretty good spell early on.
Wow, yeah, I'm just surprised they went on the Visage. I think they could have killed the Rubik. I mean, 1 point of Gravekeeper's Cloak is pretty good, and he can move away really quickly with the Grave Chill. I feel like Rubik would have just been the easy kill. But regardless, looks like mith.trust, starting off to a pretty good start. 2-1, relatively passive game, but this is to be expected with both games lineup. But I think late game will be pretty interesting. We see Invis pop out of Dragon Knight, 2 of them sitting in middle, looking for Mofi.
Oh, Mofi, I mean, I gotta say he should expect some sort of gank coming his way. He's gonna pick up Arcane Boots right by the shop, and he might die as a result. Where's the Skewer? No Skewer, instant stun comes through. At least he spent his go. I guess that's the saving grace. But that's a free pickup, and now Lekels is gonna roam back up to the top lane. This tier 2 tower is gonna be under a lot of pressure. Tier 1 already went down throughout all the chaos. If you look at Klinks' gold, he's got himself an Orchid and Treads. We're 13 minutes in, and teammate doesn't even have anything. How does Xiaotuji find any farm now? Because you know that Bone Klinks is going to just camp on the bottom.
Right, I mean, I just really like this Klinks picks just because they really can just read the lane of Rising Stars. Like, TA just kind of fails into other lanes, and they know that Magnus is going to be soloing the off lane, and Klinks just absolutely dumps on most of those heroes. He has 102 CS, and Magnus is just forced to go to the other lanes.
Yeah.
Mid lane.
Well, maybe top lane here. Super is going to get picked off by a couple of strafe. Maybe the Courier is going to get picked off. Somebody micro that thing. Nice micro. Lekels is going to get a couple of hits here. Xiaotuji TP's back in. The silence comes through. The silence going to take it away. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin going to pick up a free kill on the mid lane with the help of Mofi and XDD. So pretty decent. And then Anshimage. What? Did he just windwalk back in and get a kill? I wasn't watching that one.
I actually wasn't watching that. I was watching middle. Yeah, what went on there?
I guess she just windwalked back in.
Oh, they're chasing R5. Oh, nope.
Back in the mid lane here, looks like Mofi is going to skewer back out. Weaver is already in position to drop a skewer. Here comes mith.trust, the entire lineup as well. The benefit of having such an early Orchid finish on Klinks is that since you're going to get map control because of the Orchid, you could easily sneak into the Roshan pit, and thanks to the Orchid, you have the damage output to bring it down very easily as well, with the war cry from the Sven to tank everything up. So I look towards mith.trust to start to knock down the mid tier 1 tower, to start picking up a couple of heroes, and then go take an early Roshan, because there's really nothing that Rising Star could do about it at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
they want to go on Mofi. Global Silence is going to be used. Trap's going to be used as well. And here comes Templar Assassin doing a little bit of pot shot damage against Abba, but he is so damn tanky. Are they going to keep on going? A lift, telekinesis backward into a stun. There's no damage breaking those refractions, so Air walks right back. Where's the Klinks? He's coming right in with the Orchid already online, looking for the backstab. Mofi, prime target, but looks like they're going to focus on 3-man impel. TNK is going to get focused. They're going to focus on Air, but Air has some refraction. He's going to be fine. And it looks like Lekels is going straight up for the tier 1 tower. He picks someone up. He's going to go for XCD. Killing spree here for our Klinks. He's looking for a little bit more. Super is a free kill. Xiaotushi's a free kill as well. 2 hits. Quick blink out here from Xiaotuji to cut his losses. But right now, tier 1 has gone down for a Sven kill. I think completely worth it. Tier 1 tower is so important against that Bone Klinks. Now the entire jungle is completely open. And this game is Lekels. He could just go anywhere he wants. Yeah,
and he's stealing the creep sack right now. I mean, Klinks is just going to be a beast. Without a mantle style up on AM to try and dispel that Orchid, I think things are looking really, really bad for Rising Stars right now. They suffered with like minimal casualties in the bottom lane, but just giving a Klinks this much space and this much room. I mean, he's sitting at 1700 gold. Look at this TA.
Man, he's just going right on top of the 8 despite a refresh and burns away all of the charges. And she was able to survive through that one. But hey, Templar Assassin is not farming away. Speaking of Templar Assassin, he's going for FaZe and Yasha build. So he's going for the mass MS build. which is okay, but I feel like for the most part in this game, they're going to be running away from that Klinks, running away from the big chasing party. That's
I think
Dragon
rushing
Knight.
Manta is pretty good. Again, if you don't have any way to dispel and you don't have refraction up, you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
And like Orchid is going to own the majority of the heroes in Rising Stars. Xiaotuji in deep trouble.
Yeah, it gets lifted, gets tossed it back. The
Stuns
birds
are
apply
good.
The stun. Yeah, stuns are good. You think stun a little bit overrated? They're gonna focus on TNK. Nice 2-man impels. RP's gonna come through. They're gonna get 1 kill. Sven's gonna be on the run. He does not have War Prime. Meanwhile, Super taking a ton of damage from those birds. SC's gonna come through as well. Where's the second Stormhammer? Here comes Abba. They could actually go straight on Mofi. Mofi Skewer on cooldown. He's trying his best to run out. Dragon Knight will not chase into the tower. Where's that Bone Klinks? He's coming on the back line. He's getting ready to backstab. The supports are so poor on the Rising Star. Generally, you see a ton of Sentry being dropped down. I haven't seen a single one. And you cannot beat a Klinks without any Sentry, any type of vision. He is going to just pick you apart one after another after another.
Poor Super. Looks like he is just going to die if they venture forth into this jungle.
Well, they might actually think he's gone, so he might actually be relatively safe. Unless Klinks is going to be going back and forth and looking for him. For those of you guys out there that's maybe getting a little bit annoyed for me calling Blown Klinks, it's that Warcraft or Warcraft 3 Dota, man. I'm sorry.
Sven, you can call him the Rogue Knight. You can call him Grand Magus. What was
Magus.
Dragon Knight? Knight Davion?
There you go.
Yeah, let's get it up.
We old school. Xiaotuji, by the way, does have 10 magic stick charges, so should be fine.
Yeah, Super just forces it there for a couple of minutes. Oh, looks like TNK might be alone, though. Is he going to get picked off by XDD?
Yeah, maybe. He actually could start making it go right now. Of course, Super could come out as well and put up a little bit of last word. In fact, that's exactly what they're doing. Impel Monoberg coming out against TNK. Last word. They're going to pick up that kill. Very nicely done here. Pick off the...
Are you sure?
Oh, he's salving back up the Stormhammer. Where's the Spike Carapace? Had the mana do so as well. Eric would not be dropping some traps. How did TNK survive that one? Magic Wand turns out to be a good item. Very nicely played.
Yep, and the sneaky position by Silencer didn't actually secure them the kill, unfortunately. But again, you can't really keep all of mith.trust heroes down. They kill Sven, what, one time right now, and 2 times for Dragon Knight. But again, Klinks just having the time of his life. Already picking up Blink Dagger and just whacking away at Roshan. Unfortunately, they don't have a trap. Again, these Lyco traps really hurting Rising Stars right now. They didn't get that check that rune earlier. They don't have Roche vision right now. I mean, they don't even have a sentry there.
Yeah, they don't. And there's a free Roche as expected, getting map control by knocking out tier 1 tower, roaming into the enemy jungle, picking up support here and there. And here we go. One of the earliest Roshan. Thank you to Resin and Mermaid for that timing.
Again, I think the Klinks pick is really smart. They're on Dire, so safe lane Dire is better for Klinks than Radiant just because the large camp is much closer, and being able to sneak a Roshan in this early is just huge for mith.trust. So again, smart drafting by them, smart plays so far by Lekels.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I'd like to see mith.trust getting a little bit more aggressive with the Sentry Warning, because you know if you shut down the vision, there is just no chance for the Radiant side to come back.
Look at Xiaotuji right now. I mean, he's just forced to chill in the jungle right now. Can't even farm up the wave. And this has just been the story of the game for Rising Stars.
There is a mother effing Blink Dagger on Klinks.
I know, he is scary.
They
have a sentry there.
Lekels is going to find himself a wild Klinks. He's going to get bursted down. Nice Blink Dagger, bro. He's going to try his best to blink out of here. I don't think the Rising Star team know about this. Blink. Oh, nice dodge.
That whiff. Wow. They have
we
to
are
run
electric. Now here comes the entire mith.trust team. You're down a ton of spells right now if you're Rising Star. You could just push tier through. Unfortunately, there is no creep wave and a little bit of missed opportunity. I guess it's worth it to get a little bit of, yeah, Blink Dagger completely worth it dodging the RP.
Yeah, that was nice bait there. I mean, they could just crush this T2. They really don't have anything. No RP, no items on anti-mage. Like, they're really just forced to play defensive, try and minimize the hemorrhaging. Xiaotuji just getting, oh, wow.
Ooh, Xiaotuji. Oh, come on. Lekels is going to use that last bit of soul burn damage. He's on a double kill. Killed the Silencer on the same wire as well. He's going to be absolutely fine. Thanks to the death pack's bonus AP. He's going to blink out of there like no problem. Blink? Klinks? New meta?
I've seen it before, but I mean, we haven't seen it competitive too much. But he's just using it greatly right now.
I mean, this is a build that it only works because he snowballs so hard. He's got himself a 13-minute soul ring, Tranquil, or not Tranquil, 30-minute Soul Ring Threat Orchid. Like, he's one of the most farmed Klings.
I mean, he's going to have a Daedalus soon, too. This guy is just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, the courier is going to be coming through the sticker shop mostly to pick up a Voice Stone. He's going to see himself a freebie on the top. Silence, right click, trying to go away. The blink going to follow through. I mean, what do you do against this? Honestly, it's flashy, it's fun for us to see, it's fun for us to watch. It's definitely not fun for Rising Stars because they don't have any room to rise. Like, what does Rising Star to do against this Button Klings? That's all over the map as a Terra. You can't get things like Gem because he'll just pick you off. Sentries are very expensive.
They just need to get the jump on him, either by a Nyx Assassin with their whole team behind him, or a Blink on the Magnus. I think either of those would do pretty well in taking down the Klings. But, I mean, you just can't solo farm at this point. And he's just way too sad. Look at Xiaotuji, again, sitting at the T2, unable to farm. And, I mean, I think unless they, I mean, if they keep playing passive, they're going to lose. You can't out-farm mith.trust at this point. You have to fight back somehow. You have to smoke out a base, try and get the Blink Dagger up on your Magnus, and just 5-man solo heroes just to get a couple kills on the board. Speaking of kills, 4 kills for Rising Stars, 22 minutes in, and 9 for mith.trust.
10,000 gold lead, about 10,000 experience lead for mith.trust. They are just dominating all of the map. The Kels at this point, looks like he was spotted up at these tier 2 tower. A little bit of slightly sloppy play. So they did see him actually go up topwards. There is a Sentry Ward being placed as well. So they are very good job tracking his movement throughout the map. Xiaotuji will be farming away with a little bit of power buff.
Yeah, these supports are nowhere near Ghost Scepter, and that's pretty much the only item that will save you from the Klings at this point if you are a poor support. But Rising Stars, again, their space to farm is just extremely limited. They only have two T2 towers up right now, and they're forced to sentry right outside the towers just because they have no room to farm out. Anti-Mage only level 9. Compared to Klings, he's level 17. He's almost double his level.
Is he really level 17?
Oh, the Courier!
Courier might be actually getting a little bit picked off here. No. A little bit of D-War action. Is there a gem? There is a gem on SD, so any kind of Sentry War is not going to be effective. So not many kills being found here by mith.trust in the last couple of minutes, and mostly thanks to good awareness from Rising Star. Stormhammer gets baited out. Xiaotuji's going to blink back. It's okay if they don't get the kills. XDD's got to be extremely careful about his positioning. He should be recognizing that there is a gem on the playing field. He could just go down very easily. Are they going to just initiate with Global and RP? Sentry Ward's going to get dropped. Rewarding Observer.
Wow.
And meanwhile on the bot lane, Likel's pushing away. He's got 4.2k on the bank. Is he going to be getting that Daedalus?
I believe so. I mean, looking at Xiaotuji, he actually picked up a Vanguard, and that just hurts my eyes to see. I mean, again, if you're forced into this passive position, he's their only hope for late game. I mean, TA is doing okay, but she is not like your one carry, and she has to go a lot of utility items. She has to go BKB now. She went Yasha earlier. Again, she's going to be doing a lot of damage, but really, you want your anti-mage to be the farm rod. You want him to have the Treads Battle Fury Manta and be able to split push. But if you're forced in this passive position, forced to get passive items, and when the game isn't going your way, I just don't really see them winning the farm war. Sure, you can turtle, but what exactly are they turtling for?
Well, I mean, I feel like I don't think Anti-Mage will actually carry them back in the game, at least at this given moment. Let's, for example, pretend that Anti-Mage has a Battle Fury finish right now. He's very obviously far away from that. Where does he actually farm? He can't actually go.
You can just Sentry Ward up the jungle.
I mean, sure, there's also a gem on the other side. It's just tough and very expensive for him to find a Battle Fury, first of all, and then support to actually just farm with them. I just don't think he will enjoy the mobility that a normal Blink Anti-Mage have. I guess the other route that he could take is farming the enemy jungle, but that's doubly aggressive.
Right, but the other option is pretty much just them sitting inside their base
and waiting for death to come.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think this is a winning strategy, but at the end of the day, you're still working with a sort of a wombo combo lineup. You do have RP, you do have Silencer. Heroes like Klings, heroes like Sven is not exactly really good at pushing up the hill. So I think Rising Star could...
It's a Lincoln Sphere.
Likels loves his Lincoln Sphere.
I know. Who doesn't like Lincolns?
5k do nothing item, hey, it blocks the spell, right? Especially on Klings, that's fine. But my point is that Rising Star should maybe just wait for the tier 3 push to come, because this lineup on mith.trust, sure, it's good in terms of splitting the map open, and it's good in terms of getting kills all over the place. It's not really good in terms of pushing up a cliff, especially against a Blink Dagger Magnus and a global backup. I think Wombo Combo is the only way that Rising Star can come back, and having a tanky anti-mage in that regard just play him as a kind of a semi-carry at this point, and then hope that he could go full-on carry with the Battle Fury later on. I just don't think farming a straight Battle Fury will be effective right now. Again,
Clinks is going to just truck those towers, though. He has 2,300 HP with Death Pact. Once he gets an Aegis and that Lincoln's, I mean, he can just beat up the tower. Sure, they don't have, like, the ideal lineup for pushing up the T3, but you're not going to solo RP Lakels. If you do, you're going to lose a fight. But, again, he just has so much damage right now, and poor Xiaotuji is, I think, about to die up top.
Yep. Oh, silence. Right click, right click, right click. He's gonna get blinked upon here as well. Soul burn damage. Gonna be too elastic. Just barely enough damage actually from Lakel to finish that one because of the blink and.
I mean, Vanguard's not saving him.
Well, it would have saved him if there was no Lincoln Sphere. Did I just say that? Is this real life, guys? Alright, mith.trust is gonna take the last tier 2 tower, and if you look at the gold chart, it is not pretty. 14,000 gold. Guess what? Roshan's gonna be back relatively soon. So I think mith.trust is gonna wait for the Aegis and just buy whatever item they need right now and just break the racks. If they want to play a little bit too slowly and just go multiple lane racks, you know, maybe have Cleans push up top and then have the rest team push up bot and just force the Radiant team's hand to defend. They could do that as well. The score is 4-10. Item-wise, let's quickly do a check. Any big item, important item?
Magnus, Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, and looks like Anti-Mage has gone, has left the Battle Fury build completely. And again, even though it's not a game-winning position, I think that's probably the best way they could have, I guess, salvaged this game, to be completely honest.
And XED picked up a gem, and I mean, to be honest, Lincoln is not that bad of an item here. Doesn't block. I mean, it blocks Last Word, Mana Void, Impale, and the Mana Burn from Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin, that Mana Burn is actually a pretty big deal for Klings just because he has quite a bit of intel, about 100 right now. So 500 Mana Burn is pretty painful, even from a level 9 Nyx Assassin.
It's also, like, basically makes him immortal the way that he's been playing so far. He's roaming all of the map. There's once or twice where he ran into a full team with a Nyx Assassin in front to Impale. That's their only true lead stun. And the fact that Lakel's blocks it with the Link Sphere means he is invulnerable. Now that he has a gem on himself, he's not going to get picked off by any kind of stray Sentry Ward. So, yeah, Lakel is kind of dominating all of the map, forcing the entire Radiant team to farm together, which is never a winning proposition. There is no Battle Fury on the map, but there is also an Empower Anti-Mage, so that's, I guess, a poor man's.
I mean, TA does do a lot of damage right now. 110 plus 160 with Empower and Bubble Hands, or Refraction and Bubble Hands. That's pretty good. And she has BKB up, so even though Anti-Mage might not be farmed, I still think this TA can do quite a bit of damage. He's actually sitting 2-0-0 right now. Only hero that hasn't died for Rising Stars. Looks like they may get their first T1 of the game on top.
Maybe. I'm very surprised that mith.trust is not holding on to these towers a little bit more aggressively. They have complete map control, so they should be doing just that. Lakel's playing a little bit of a Blinky Mage with the Blink Dagger and then just farming neutrals.
I mean, mith.trust just has so many items out right now. They have BKBs on both of their strength heroes. They have Blink Arcanes on the Rubik. They have an Arcane Boots on the Visage. And again, this Clink's Blink, Orchid, Lincoln's Gem, Trez, 3,200 gold, about to pick up an Aegis. He is just stacked.
Yeah, he picks up a Demon Edge right now. Will be picking up the Aegis. Any chance that he just goes straight Daedalus and then push? Or I think mith.trust could push right now. I don't think you want to give Rising Star any kind of room for some to farm up, but maybe perhaps a bigger team fight item.
One of the spectators says, "No need to type this time, LOL," regarding the Roshan. I'm not sure if he means the game isn't going to last another 10 minutes or what, but Rising Star is in a very, very dire position right now.
Fail pun, man. Fail pun. Wrong side of the map. Lakel's looking for a kill. Not going to find any. Credit to Rising Star. They haven't actually got picked off too much by a roaming kind of ganking Klings.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not getting any gold though. Look at this gold grab. It's just keeps dipping down.
They're not
into
getting
the
any
valley.
gold, but they're not losing any more gold than they could have.
It's just delaying the inevitable, man. Again, I just don't think that turtling is a winning proposition. You can hope for the Hail Mary and hope that you can get a 5-man RP and into like a huge mana void. But again, look at I mean, this Klings is just owning.
I take back what I said about not getting picked up, as there was a pick off. Now Abba perhaps a little bit of trouble, but he really is fine. He's got drums. He's got BKBs. He's absolutely
yeah. That was a meld hit from a TA meld hit with Crystallis too, and that just did not do any damage to him.
Yeah. You go for this jump. You know that Bone Klings is up top here. It's a 4v4 situation. You don't have Anti-Mage, but hey, he's a big melee creep anyways at this stage of the game. Yeah. Or you just keep on holding. I still think that Rising Star has a very, very, very small chance if you get the big Wombo combo.
Turtle power.
Yeah. They are getting starved within their base. I mean, this gold chart is not looking, going back to any direction, the other direction anytime soon. But I mean, what other options do you have? You just have the turtle.
But here goes.
Oh, they're gonna focus here on the air. Strafe, a little bit silent. So silence on global. RP is gonna get stolen. Skewer backwards here. And looks like people are just dying on the Radiant side as expected. A little bit of toss back action. XDD is gonna get stunned up. He's gonna be dead as well. 2 kills easy, and they break high ground. Looks like RP wasn't stolen because he wasn't used. Shockwave is gonna be used, and like you expected, I mean, it's an easy high ground break. Just off the level advantage, off the item advantage. Looks like they're not actually gonna break high ground. They might have to try a second time, and maybe this is where Rising Star could win a team fight. Global's back. You can stay relatively far back. RP's back up. Let's see if they're gonna have a good jump. Rising Star has one more chance in this game.
I really like Lakel's position.
Oh
Look
my
at it
God.
right now. Oh,
Link,
boy.
global silence comes through, but Air said, where's the RP? RP's not gonna hit from anything. And the silence, Lakel's still could shoot arrows, but not fire ones. Gonna be breaking the tier 3 tower, now looking for the racks. Just a pick victory almost, it feels like.
Right, and that is a GG. So 31-minute GG. Rising Stars is just not really winning their lanes, and just continued good play by mith.trust. Lakel's in particular. 10-0-0 Clinks. Level 22. This reminds me of just fun at Clinks.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that in a while, but I mean, Clinks just taking complete control of this game and dissecting and massacring Rising Stars like a bunch of mutton.
Yeah, Thank you for throwing mutton there. I'm actually very impressed by Lakel's play. Generally, I've known him in the past as some of more of a one-dimensional carry player, like the poor man's burning, if you will. Just farm all of the map, get suboptimal choices like Lincoln Sphere as items, and just go late game carry. I'm talking about 80 minutes, 60-minute carry. But this game, he's playing like a semi-carry, roam all of the map, completely dominating, had very good knowledge of enemy wards, only ran under tower once or twice, wasn't picked off, had a blink dagger, guys. So very impressive play, completely dominating.
Yeah, I like it a lot more when he plays like sort of an aggressive carry. And I mean, we saw his anti-mage, but they actually ended up losing that game versus one of the other teams. But again, when he goes into like passive 40 to 50-minute farm mode, I mean, sometimes his decision-making is a little bit questionable. And one small mistake as a carry just costs you the game. But when you have an aggressive playstyle like this, and you can snowball and get that early lead like Lakel's does, I think that's just much better suited to his playstyle and for his team.
Yeah, I don't really think that it was a bad play from Rising Star. They did okay most of the lane. It's mostly the draft, which is... Let's see what the analyst table thinks, but I definitely think that Rising Star needs to draft a ton better in Game 2.
The draft was a factor, but I gotta say, I had my camera parked on that top lane while there was all sorts of action in the bottom tri-lane on tri-lane for pretty much, I want to say like the first 5 minutes. Lakel's played the lane perfectly. He was pulled a single set of regen, played very defensively for the first few levels. Once he hits level 3 Searing Arrows, he starts to get more aggressive. Once he hit level 5, he really accelerated it. I've actually seen that matchup before. Pycat played against Yao. I believe it was in the G League group stages, and Pycat actually lost the lane hard as Clinks to Magnus in the safe lane.
Really?
Exact same matchup. Reason was he tried to play too aggressively at the early levels. Also, Yao got a bit lucky with I think it was a haste run at level 1, so he did a lot of damage before he ended up going invis. But it was just fantastic play from Lakel's. And he also went for a Soul Ring early. He got power treads. He didn't just rush the Orchid, but getting that early Soul Ring lets you be more aggressive in lane. So I like kind of those little touches he made. Still had a 15-minute Orchid. Completely out of control. A Blink Dagger, Lincoln Sphere Clinks. This is Southeast Asian Dota.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to watch. Clinks really does have a good advantage in that matchup. I'm so surprised that you said Pycat got out lane, but another really common case where Clinks was used was against Darkseer solos. It's like pretty passive lanes that are normally pretty good against tri-lanes and it can escape, but there's just so much physical damage that it's nearly impossible to stay in lane. Whenever a creep's about to die, you just go aggressive, you go on the other side of the creep dies, and you're even out of deny EXP range. It's like such a dominant lane, and then you took all of that snowball and just pressured the map. I looked at the KDs of the other heroes on their team at the end. The Sven was 1, 1, and 2. The Dragon Knight was 0, 2, and 4. They still had 120 last hits, but they just didn't show up to team fights. It was literally just Clinks creating space on the whole map.
He was 10, 0, and 0. He didn't have an assist, but he carried the game. I mean, that is the definition of just a player carrying the game. Fantastic individual play from Lakel's, and puts his team on his shoulders, takes them to a Game 1 victory. But of course, it's a best of 3. I did feel like for Rising Stars, maybe not the best lanes, giving the Clinks the 1v1 safe lane matchup against a Magnus. That's a tough lane. The one other thing I got to say, though, I don't think Templar Assassin should lose the mid lane to DK. It seemed like at best broke even. I feel that's a matchup where, if anything, the TA should be dominating. Tri-lane didn't go too well either. And, I mean, when you look at it, It was really the Lakel show.
Yeah, TA does have better base damage, so she should do better. Well, not base damage, but the refraction damage. The guy's been playing Dragon Knight all night, so maybe that's what it is. He's got that stuff down pat.
He's getting hot.
Yeah, I also love the way that he's playing Dragon Knight as well. He's not playing him as a carry role. He's playing him as kind of like a utility ganker, tanky role. Gets the BKB with the drums so that he has enough mana in the early game. And I love the Blink Dagger pickup afterwards because we saw it in the other game. It won them the game. They broke the base. He doesn't care about damage items because they have another carry to cover it. He just opts to have Magic Immunity and then Initiation. And it's such a cool idea. I've never seen Dragon Knight played like that before.
Yeah, it's really your two-position Dragon Knight. Being an initiator, being kind of a utility hero, starting the fights, and let Lakels do all the work. So, guys, that wraps it up for Game 1. mith.trust roll to a convincing 30-minute victory. But, of course, this is a best-of-3 for Rising Stars. If they lose this next game, they are going to go home and fall short. And we will have our first and only Southeast Asian team into the playoffs for the International 3 East qualifiers. But if they can take Game 2, then we go to a deciding Game 3. So, guys, stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be live with that Game 2.